This is an ABC News special report. Thailand rescue. Race against time.
Good morning. I'm Dan Harris in New York alongside Paula Ferris. We're breaking in to network programming to give you the great news that 2 of the boys from that cave in Thailand have been brought out, and they are alive, and they are being brought to the hospital right now.
Yeah, 2 of the 12, and the strategy there was to take the weakest boys out first. Matt Gutman is on the ground there. And Matt, what can you tell us about those 2 boys that have been rescued alive?
Well, we know that they're right now in that ambulance on the way to the hospital. We don't know anything about their condition, but we have seen this frenzied activity here just outside that checkpoint behind me. About 1,000 yards up that dirt road, I don't know if you can see it in the dark, is the entrance to the cave. Those 2 boys coming out in separate ambulances, spaced about a couple of minutes apart. A tremendous frenzy here, especially among the reporters, and you can imagine the feeling all over this country and across the world as we now know that at least 2 of these young soccer players are out of there. Now, just seconds ago, we saw another ambulance going in, so there is now additional hope that perhaps a 3rd will be extracted, hopefully very soon.
And Matt, this is going to take a long time because they're coming out in groups of 4. Can you tell us exactly the protocol here?
Each one of the children, the young men, is being brought out with 2 buddy divers. They're going to be assisting them throughout the entire journey. Now, some of the way they're going to have to actually dive, and I suppose have dived, going underwater for short periods of time. Now, we know that crews have been working round the clock over the past 2 weeks to try to level out the tops of the caves to give them some breathing room and let them float part of the way. But clearly, even though this is an arduous, torturous journey through this snaking cave that's 3 miles long or thereabouts, is so painful.
We may have lost the audio connection to ABC's Matt Gutman. So let's go to ABC's James Longman, who's also been covering this story from the jump. And James, we were listening to Matt talk there about this rescue in process. While it is great news that 2 boys, we have confirmed, ABC News has confirmed, have been brought out alive, what makes this news even cheerier in some respects is that we've been told, ABC News has, that they're starting with the weakest boys. So if they're able to get the weakest boys out, doesn't that give us some optimism about the rest of the team and the coach?
Absolutely, Dan. That is absolutely the thing that everyone here is thinking. I can't tell you the anticipation we have been feeling here in the jungle, watching this road behind me. And when those ambulances came out, the shock here was just extraordinary. We knew it was coming, but remember, when we first arrived here in Thailand, we thought these boys were missing, presumed dead. And now the weakest among them, as you say, could have been found, or they have now been found. And we stood here and we watched as the ambulances flickered through the night behind us, the first and then the second, very slowly to make sure, obviously, that their precious cargo was okay inside. We understand that they made their way to a helicopter, Sky News, ABC News understands, and they made their way to then the hospital in Chiang Rai. This is just extraordinary, but yes, we should urge caution because you know, this is a long way to go. 2 out, but now the rest of the team and their soccer coach are still waiting.
Right, so 2 boys have made it out. We still have the 10 more boys and then the coach remaining. The boys have been there for 16 days. We have to remember that they're weak, but they said that they were ready for this mission. Their family said that they were ready. The rains are coming. The monsoon is coming, which is why they had to do this right now. James, can you tell us, we know that they were escorted out by Navy SEALs, but this operation is going to take quite some time, correct?
Yes, I mean, the operation to begin this rescue began at 10 a.m. local time, and now we're well into the evening here in Thailand. We understood the journey to get to where they were, or some of them still obviously remain, was hours, 5 hours possibly. So the rescue divers have to get there, get them ready, kit them up, talk to them, presumably get them in the right frame of mind, and then bring them out. So we understand this could take 3, possibly 4 days to complete. That tunnel, most of it is still submerged in water. The big issue was always from the very beginning, the water level. They have been pumping out billions of gallons of water to try to bring it down, and now their hand was forced because of the bad weather. But it seems the hope, is alive because the weakest are being brought out, and they seem to be on their way now to the hospital, and we don't know their condition, but we're all praying that it's okay.
James, thank you.
Just such great news that at least right now 2 boys, and we're hearing reports that there may be more that have made it out of the tunnel. So let's go back to Matt. And Matt, what can you tell us?
Hey guys, I've just confirmed that there are going to be 4 of those young boys. They are the weakest of the 12 who are going to be brought out tonight. Now, minutes ago when we spoke earlier, I said I saw a 3rd ambulance go in, and just seconds ago, another ambulance made its way up that hill. That is exceedingly good news. So there are a number of places and chambers inside the cave where the boys and the divers can have some time to rest, a little bit of a respite, and to get a medical checkup. They are also doing some sort of triage outside the cave. But the fact that they are ready to transport them via ambulance to a hospital or a helicopter to get them there is exceedingly good news. In addition to that, the fact that they actually made it out is great, because it tells us they are strong enough to do it, and as you guys have all mentioned, that the rest of them are even more fit and able to finish this job. So a tremendous amount of jubilation here. People are very excited. Now, we talked about the possible problems inside the cave, the complications. Aside from the water and obviously the treacherous ceilings, there's stalactites hanging. We're in a cave today. Those rocks are incredibly sharp, but in addition to that, there has been this decreasing level of oxygen in the cave. Right now, it's about 17%. That means it's the content of oxygen in the air that you exhale. So it's not something you want to breathe for too long, and that is why they are so eager to get them out as quickly as possible and obviously as safely as possible.
This is a tremendous achievement. I know it's not over, but it's a tremendous achievement and an enormous amount of planning and pressure and emotion involved here. Matt Gutman, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go to the hospital now, where those boys and their coach will be brought once presumably they're all out. The 4 boys that we believe are out at this point are en route, or at least some of them are en route. Adrian Bankert, ABC's Adrian Bankert, is right there. Adrian, what can you tell us?
Well, we have confirmed with a police spokesperson from the hospital here on scene, as well as the U.S. State Department, that 2 of those boys have been treated by field medics, and they're on their way to the helicopter. Now, they'll go by ambulance to the helicopter, which will transport about 15 minutes. We have crews there on scene. That helipad is about a 1 to 2 kilometer trip, about 7-minute drive here to the hospital in Chiang Rai. And right behind us here, the roads continue to be closed as they await those ambulances. Again, confirming that 1 ambulance is assigned to each boy. Those 2 ambulances will arrive at the helicopter, 1 helicopter, which will transport those 2 children here to the scene. You've heard Matt and James talk about how the weakest have exited the cave first. But certainly those families who've been waiting for days and weeks to see what the status of their children is at all are here, I'm sure with tears of joy, elated that there's some good news to report here on this story that the world is watching. Dan and Paula.
That is right. Elation, well-deserved. Adrian Bankert, thank you. And I just want to clarify again, ABC News has learned the breaking news that 2 of the 12 boys have been taken out of that cave in Thailand. We're also hearing reports that 2 more may be close to making their way out. A great piece of news, but much more to be done.
Yeah, and we do want to return you to regular programming, which for many of you on the East Coast will be Good Morning America. And a reminder, we'll be covering the story, this rescue mission in Thailand, throughout the day, right here at ABC News and at abcnews.com. Thanks for joining us on this special report.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.